Hey, what's going on, guys? It's DK back at you with another video here to talk about the 6-game NBA DFS slate on Tuesday. If this is your first time watching, cover content for DFS and for Prize Picks. Prize Picks are the sponsor of the video. You can use the code DKDFS for 100% match up to $100. That's a free $100 to play with on the site. I'll also have it linked down below. Been running really good in Prize Picks last couple days. YouTube videos, full swap yesterday, full swap today. Came this close to full sweeping the board overall today on Prize Picks as well. I went 4-2. I had the over on Donovan Mitchell, 38.5 fantasy score. He had like 35 beginning of the fourth, 3-point spread that game. Massive blowout. Doesn't touch the court in the fourth for the rest of the fourth. Had Josh Richardson over 13.5 points. Just needed 3 more. Massive blowout too. So close to the full sweep on Prize Picks. But again, guys, use that code if you are a new user and take advantage of that free money. Okay, so before we talk about this 6-gamer, we got to recap tonight. And so let's kind of go over my strategy here. And just don't get me started with Corey Kispert, man. There's so many things about tonight. It's just so stupid. So stupid. Well, number one. Okay, so the Stanley Johnson chalk, I thought, was horrific. Was absolutely horrific. Thankfully, the slaps that went there were punished. They almost got bailed out because of the random blowout. So we got extended minutes. But the Stanley Johnson, I tweeted about it. It was awful. He was like 20+% owned in GPPs. Horrific chalk. I did not understand that one bit. Right, he got extended last game because it was like a 50-point game. It was a huge blowout. He only played 10 first half minutes. So I was expecting around, high teens to low 20s minutes for Stanley Johnson. That play made no sense. But joke's on me, because I played Corey Kispert over him. 1 of 10 shooting for Kispert. I talked about this on the Patreon stream. Like, I have no confidence in Kispert, but I'm going to play Kispert over Stanley Johnson at a fraction of the ownership. And again, joke's on me. 4 fantasy points in like 30 minutes. 4. So, after that happened, and after Jalen Green, he actually smashed. He smashed and got unlucky because of the random blowout there. But he was my favorite tournament play of the slate. However, early on, he started the game like 1 of 8 shooting. And I was like, all right, this is over. Like, I had Cam Thomas, sure. But I was like, okay, 4 from Corey Kispert. Jalen Green's busting. I am going to pack it in tonight and test a theory. You want to know what theory we tested? We worked hard in the lab for this one, guys. Hard. The drooler theory. The fall asleep at the wheel theory. The put your phone away at lock theory, and you'll win all the money. And that theory worked for 1 or 2 plays. I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm not going to do the smart thing and pivot off Wood and Hardy. I'm just going to keep them. Kept Hardy, drooled with Hardy, 50 bomb. The sharp play was McKinley Wright, right? At way less ownership. The sharp play was McKinley Wright. And the Sharks that pivoted were punished. No surprise. And then Christian Wood played 19 minutes. So what is that? It's a thumb. No news of a limit. I was like, you know what? Again, it was the drooler theory. So I drooled with Hardy and got rewarded. The Wood drool did not work out. But I think the theory is that's how you win money. Just put your phone, put it away at lock, go live your life. Don't make any sharp pivots, and you'll win all the money. So, again, I packed it in. I'm like, screw it, it's over. Now, the funny thing is, if I would have pivoted off Christian Wood, I probably would have cashed. But because Jalen Green ended up smashing in the second half. And, but whatever. It is what it is. Olynyk was fine. Again, Wood, we went over, right? Wood and Hardy, the drooler theory. We talk about Giannis, man. This is just unbelievable. 12 first half minutes. 36 minutes. The previous 3 games. 36. I play Giannis on pace for 24 minutes. You want to know how many minutes he played tonight? 22. 22 minutes for Giannis. 22. If you give him his 36 minutes, he goes for 80. 22 minutes. So I just want to know from the faders, from any of you that faded him, how did you know? How did you know that he would play 12 first half minutes and get in random massive foul trouble and the game would randomly blow out too? All those things. Please inform me how you knew. Okay? That's all I want to know. It's nothing hostile. I want to know how you knew, the Giannis faders, all you Giannis faders out there. How did you know that he would play 12 first half minutes? How did you know that he would get in random massive foul trouble and only play 22 total minutes? How? How? And then rounded out with Poole. So on the Prize Picks video, I mentioned Poole over 4.5 assists. That easily went over. I mentioned Draymond under 7.5 assists. That went over. And then Jeremy Grant under rebounds. That hit. Or Draymond hit. So I'm 3 for 3 on the Prize Picks plays. But just unbelievable. How did the honest faders know? That's what I just need that answer. How did you guys know? How? And then the cherry on top of tonight. I played Andre Drummond last slate at negative ownership. Literally negative. 0.6% owned. Andre Drummond, I played him last slate. He went for 14 fantasy points. And people in the YouTube comments that day were like, why would you play Andre Drummond, man? You're a fish. Why play Drummond? In all seriousness, though, if you want to be a successful GPP player, you have to learn to think for yourself and identify spots like that where the field is overlooking. And I identify that with Drummond. And I played him one day early. You want to know what? You guys want to know what Andre Drummond did tonight? I'll read you off Andre Drummond's stat line. I saw this. So, Andre Drummond in 21 minutes off the bench tonight. 21 points, 15 rebounds, 1 assist, 3 steals, and a block. A 50 bomb. A 50 bomb for Drummond. 50. 50. 50. But when I play, 14. 14. 50. Oh, a couple other things too. I had to look at my phone and see if there's anything else. Should have jotted down some notes. Giga Chalk, Edmund Sumner, 4th foul to begin the 3rd. You better believe he stayed in the game and smashed. Now, if I had played Edmund Sumner, no way, right? He's right to the bench and probably never comes back in if I played Sumner. Since he's massively overowned. Oh yeah, he stayed in the game. 4th foul early in the 3rd, stayed in the game. Why can't that ever happen to me? Someone gets in foul trouble for me, immediately to the bench, right? There's just not even hesitation. And maybe done for the game, too. Sam Hauser. Talk about that really quick. Well, you see, he ended up coming back down to earth, but he started the game off like 80% from 3. Unreal stuff there. What else? There was definitely a couple other things I wanted to tilt about. Again, Jalen Green, smashing, blowout. I feel like there's more, but I can't think of it right now. So, again, we tested the drooler theory. I did that for you. Worked really hard in the lab, guys. The mouth breather theory, if you will. Drooler, mouth breather, fall asleep at the wheel, any of those. That theory was tested tonight, and it worked out with Hardy. So that's a recap of everything. Hope you guys had a good night. And esports. There's no Call of Duty for the next couple weeks. I came in 8th place in the big CSGO tournament today. This close. Don't want to deal with ejections in esports. You don't have to deal with a star player playing 12 first half minutes out of nowhere. Those are things you don't have to deal with. All right, let's talk about this 6-game slate. And if you guys are looking for premium content, you can check my Patreon link down below. We do the live stream every day before lock on Patreon. And we talk about, we go over what the optimal build is. We talked about today with, picking 3 of the 4. This was thinking that Wood was going to start, of Giannis, Tatum, Poole, and Wood. But obviously once Wood didn't start, he was not in the optimal build. And then I said pick 1 of the Nets value guards, Hardy. And then we kind of talk about, all right, so how can we get different, right? So we first usually go over what the chalk build is, and they're like, all right, let's try to identify some pivots. I said to everyone, I was like, do not play chalk Stanley Johnson. Don't do that. But again, joke's on me, right? Because Stanley Johnson, even though he busted, he did better than Corey Kispert. But yeah, if you guys want, again, that is every day. And we talk about a lot of things, again, low on pivots, all that good stuff. So if you're interested, that is linked in the description. All right, so Knicks and Magic is the first game here. RJ Barrett, can we talk about that last game too? 20 minutes after lock. Oh yeah, RJ Barrett's out. It's like, what on earth? You can't do that. You can't do that. They have to be fined for that. Not even on the injury report. You literally can't do that. So I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. But if RJ Barrett's out, you most likely will get Emmanuel Quickley in the starting lineup. Will most likely be disappointing again because every time he starts, seemingly he's just been really, really bad. But on average, if he does start, he probably is playing like 35 plus minutes. You just kind of had an outlier game from, they dusted off Fournier, and he played well off the bench, and McBride played well off the bench. So usually that's not going to happen. So if Barrett's out again, I think we can look to Quickly. And then again, Randall Brunson will look better. Hartenstein been playing more than Jericho Sims. He's also the better point per minute guy of the two. I like his upside in GPPs. Don't know if I can get to Sims, but he'll start and most likely play around 20 minutes. And then I mentioned, Fournier got dusted off. He made 5 threes. We can't expect that every time. McBride had a good game off the bench, but he's really bad point per minute. So don't even know if I could stomach that. Now, if RJ Barrett plays, probably just the main 3 plus Hartenstein would be the guys out of interest in. On the Magic side, so price points are reasonable here. I think the main 4 guys are all decent tournament plays. Banchero, Franz Wagner, Wendell Carter Jr., Markelle Fultz. None of these guys are priorities. Knicks, not necessarily the best matchup, but I expect 30-plus minutes from all 4 of these guys. Well, Anthony, with Jalen Suggs back, a little bit tricky to get to him at 5K. Suggs, has been taking some of his minutes. He had played only 18 here, only 16 here, so a little bit tough to prioritize Cole Anthony. Now, actually, probably my 2 favorite plays in the Magic would be 2 bench players. That would be Jalen Suggs and Mo Wagner. Mo Wagner been playing the backup 5. I think he plays like high teens minutes, basically whatever Wendell Carter Jr. does not play. So I think he's playable, and I like Jalen Suggs coming off the bench. He's, he only played 16 minutes here, but he got ejected. Previous to that, 26, 20, 26. So I'm thinking we get low to mid 20s minutes for Jalen Suggs. The only downside is he's only point guard eligible, but I think Suggs and Mo Wagner would actually probably be my favorite plays on the Magic. And I don't even hate Gary Harris. It's not a fun play. It's not exciting, but he's going to play mid to high 20s minutes, and he can get you there if he makes the shots. But that's kind of all he does is score. So if he doesn't score, he can still hurt you. Atlanta, New Orleans, you guys know what I'm going to say here, right? Atlanta, there's no priorities here. Trae Young, Murray. Now with Murray at almost the same price point as Trae Young, I'm going to give the edge to Trae Young over Murray. So I do slightly prefer Trae Young to DeJounte Murray at the price points. Capella and Okongwu, they're going to split the center position. I think Capella's a fine GPP play. He'll play high 20s minutes. Bogdanovic feels priced right. John Collins, minutes have ticked down a little bit. I think we see high 20s to low 30s. Hunter is always just a fine filler play. He'll play mid 30s minutes usually. AJ Griffin will go back to the bench. Probably only play about 15 minutes. There's nothing that I love on the Atlanta side. Now, on the Pelicans side, we got Ingram probable. We got JV probable. Can we also talk about CJ, man? He played 12 first half minutes last game when I played him. I also had his over fantasy score. 12 first half minutes, and the game randomly massive, and the game turns into a massive blowout of the random variety. Just unreal, man. It's just unreal. But I have interest in CJ. I prefer Ingram for the price point. Ingram should play mid-30s minutes. He dealt with random foul trouble last slate. I think he plays 36-ish minutes. I like him a good amount here at 7.1K. JV always intrigues me for GPPs. Minutes are never really secure, but most likely he's going to play like 20 to 22 minutes. And at this price point, he's still viable. And if you get that game where JV plays like close to that 30-minute mark, he could break the slate. Like he was probably going to play around 30 minutes against the Lakers, but he got injured. So I do have some interest in JV for GPPs. The rest of the Pelicans, though, are kind of priced up from when Ingram and JV were out. So don't love Murphy at that price. Marshall go back to the bench. He's out of play. Herb Jones feels a bit pricey. Hernan Gomez might DNP. They're going to use Larry Nance as the backup 5, but he feels priced right. I guess Alvarado at 3.5 would probably be the guy I would look to, but for value at least. But there's nothing outside of the main guys that I love for the Pelicans. Phoenix and Brooklyn. So another team where there's not a ton I love here for Phoenix. Booker is back, but going to be on a limit. So I don't think we can play Devin Booker. And with him back, I don't think we can play Chris Paul. I don't think we can play 7K Mikal Bridges. I think Aiden's still fine at 8-1. Like, he can still dominate the glass here. He's still playable. Cam Johnson at 5-2 is still playable as well. But Craig, like, you're most likely going to get... assuming Booker starts, will be Paul, Booker, Cam Johnson, Bridges, Ayton. So Craig will move back to the bench. Tough to go there. I don't really know if I can get to any of these bench guys either. Saric is 3-4. I guess he's relatively cheap. Damian Lee should still see minutes off the bench, but if you want to mess with the backup 5, either Lando or Biyombo will be my guess, but I probably won't be going there. On the Brooklyn side, so Ben Simmons is going to be back. Now, I don't know if he's going to be on a limit or not. He's been out for about 2 weeks. If Ben Simmons, well, he's good to go. If he's not on a limit, then I really like him here. If he's on some sort of limitation, then the guys we want to look to, this is Cam Thomas's team now. This is his team. Back-to-back 40 bombs. This is Summer League Cam Thomas, right? A lot of people are like, who's Cam Thomas? You guys know, like, this is a guy we played for in the Summer League for 2 straight years. Just lock button Cam Thomas. Because he's a bucket. That's what he is. Now, we cannot expect these type of performances again. So don't get me wrong. Like, I am a Cam Thomas fan. He's won me a good amount of money. And I played him tonight too. But you cannot expect these type of performances. So I still would like Cam Thomas, and I still would like Edmund Sumner. 4.1K for Sumner. Like, most likely, if Ben Simmons is in, that they would move one of Cam Thomas or Sumner to the bench. So we'll see. But yeah, so Cam Thomas and Sumner are still of interest, and I want to see what the starting lineup is. Kind of just indifferent on Royce O'Neal. He played 35 minutes last game. I think on average, he's going to play low 30s minutes right now. Claxton, if he can stay out of foul trouble, should play all the minutes he can handle, just because this team is really shorthanded in the front court. Like, they're using Day'Ron Sharpe as the backup 5, but he's not playing a ton right now. TJ Warren in his first game back only played like 12 minutes, so can't get to Warren yet. Joe Harris started, played 28 minutes. I guess he's playable. I don't really have a ton of confidence in his minutes or really anyone else. Watanabe probably sees 15 to 20 minutes. Patty Mills played 30 minutes 2 games ago, only 12 minutes tonight because he just couldn't make a shot. So I think the main interest for me would be Ben Simmons and those 2 guards, Cam Thomas and Edmund Sumner. And then some interest in Claxton and Royce O'Neal. All right, Chicago and Memphis. So keep an eye on Caruso news. If Caruso is still out, then Andre Drummond should play the backup 5, just, because this team runs a pretty tight rotation. When one of these guys are out, that's why they added Andre Drummond to the rotation. But with Vooch, DeRozan, and Levine, I'm going to say all 3 are playable in tournaments, but there's no standouts for me. Vooch smashed in 24 minutes, but only played 24 minutes because Andre Drummond smashed. DeRozan, Levine both had quiet games, but they're reasonable price points. Have interest in all 3 of those guys for GPPs. Pat Williams feels priced right. If there's no Caruso again, then Ayo and Kobe White benefit the most. You've seen around 30 minutes for Ayo the last 3 games. Kobe White played 33 minutes tonight, but did play extended minutes because of the blowout. But yeah, Ayo and Kobe White benefit. And then if there's no Caruso, yes, you can play Andre Drummond. But God, I play him here, man. 14. I get 14, and then the 50 bomb. What did I do? What did I do to deserve that? 1 day early on Drummond. And again, I got ripped on in the YouTube comments for playing Andre Drummond that day. Why are you playing Andre Drummond? So tilting, man. So incredibly tilting. But obviously, I have interest in Drummond if there's no Caruso because he should play the backup 5. If Caruso plays, though, there is a chance that Drummond DNPs. Now, since he played so well last game, I think he probably earned a spot as the backup 5 for now. But yeah, if Caruso's in, there would be slight DNP risk. Memphis, nothing really stands out for Memphis. I like Ja at 10-3. He's going to play low to mid 30s minutes. He's their go-to guy. Bane and Triple J both have ceilings, but with Ja Morant in, they're kind of just like secondary filler plays. Triple J always has that foul risk. The center position, whoever starts the 5 is going to look pretty good. My guess is it's Xavier Tillman. He has played well. I think we're going to get, high 20s to low 30s minutes from Tillman. So I like him if he starts. You can go to Clark if he starts. Like, whoever starts the 5 looks pretty good. Brooks feels a bit pricey. Tyus Jones is overpriced with Ja back. Aldama's overpriced with Triple J and Ja back. So don't really know if I get to anyone else. I mean, Conchar will see backup run, but don't know if it's enough for me to prioritize him. Minnesota and Denver. So still no Cat. Gobert questionable. Slow-mo questionable. I think Gobert plays, but we'll see. Anthony Edwards and D'Angelo Russell, I think, are good tournament plays. If the game stays competitive, they'll play close to 40 minutes. So Evan Anderson, both the main guys for Minnesota for tournaments. If Gobert plays, I like him. There obviously is some foul risk against Jokic. He got in random foul trouble last game, only played 18 minutes because of it, but still had a decent game in 18 minutes, going for 28 fantasy points. So I think Gobert is a good option if he can stay out of foul trouble here. Slow-mo, I took his over rebounds last game. He was easily going to hit, injured. If he doesn't play here, I think Taurean Prince probably benefits the most. They started Matt Ryan the second half last game. I don't think I could stomach playing Matt Ryan, but again, I think Prince would probably benefit the most and would be a solid value at 3-5 if there's no Kyle Anderson. Jalen Noel's 3-6. He got extended minutes last game because of the blowout. He's always playable in tournaments just because he's going to be a relatively high usage player when he's on the court. And then I'm always just like indifferent at McDaniels. If he can stay out of foul trouble, he should play over 30 minutes. But he's another guy that's always in foul trouble. For Denver, they're basically fully healthy now. Jokic back, Murray back, Gordon back, KCP back. I think Jokic, Murray, the guys I'm looking to. I like both quite a bit. I mean, still feels too cheap for Jokic. Jamal Murray is playing massive minutes right now. So I like Jokic and I like Murray. Gordon, MPJ, KCP, all kind of secondary options, all feel a little pricey. Bruce Brown is overpriced moving back to the bench. Don't think I can go there. Nothing really else that I'm looking to for Denver. It's really the main guys. And finally, the Thunder and the Lakers. So price points, not amazing on the main guys for Oklahoma City. Almost $11K for Shea. I still like his ceiling, but I wouldn't call him a priority. Neither Josh Giddey at 7-9, but both should play good minutes here against the Lakers. It's a good matchup. Jalen Williams is always someone that's just kind of like a last piece in tournament play for me. On average, he's going to play around 30 minutes, so he's fine. And then just like, I don't know what to do with the rest. I just never know. Keep an eye on the starting lineup. If they start Kenrich Williams, I like him. If they don't start him, I don't think we can play him. If you want to play whoever starts, fine. This team, man. This team. So this group of everyone else is just like playable in tournaments. Whoever starts, you're probably going to feel the best about, but just know that's never a guarantee, right? You saw it with Aaron Wiggins again tonight. Aaron Wiggins started and then did not start the second half, got benched. And he even played well in the first half, too. Finally, the Lakers. LeBron, questionable, but expected to play. Anthony Davis, probable. Looking at the two in the price points, I think I'd lean AD over LeBron just because he's a bit cheaper. But I have interest in both the main guys for the Lakers. I think Westbrook is just a tournament-only play. Only played 23 minutes last game. Nothing really else standing out for the Lakers. You have Austin Reeves that is probable, but I don't think he's going to play normal minutes. He's been out for like a month. Rui feels pricey. Schroeder, I guess, is fine. Pat Beverly, I guess, is fine. Troy Brown probably loses minutes. It's just nothing else really standing out for the Lakers. So that is going to do it for the video today, guys. Really appreciate all the support, all the new viewers, and you guys have been really, really nice in the comments too. Try to get back to everyone in the comments. So I appreciate all the support. I really, really do. Yeah, keep an eye on the Prize Picks video. We're running hot over there, and we'll see you all in the next one. Good luck, and hope to see you guys at the top of the leaderboard.